you're sending towards someone is very, very heavy. Now, most people understand what I'm saying is when you're around someone, you can feel how toxic it is. They're like a wet blanket.
Yes.
If someone is spewing negativity, you just want to get out of it because our soul can't stand to be in it.
That's right.
It's horrible to our soul because we're meant to be light and harmonious and happy. That's how we were supposed to be. So when we're in that heaviness, we can't stand it.
The soul actually is screaming inside and can cause other complications physically.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what happens is when you're a child and things are going well until somebody really does something to you that damages you with that heavy energy they're sending your way. Perhaps it was a teacher that yelled at you. Perhaps your dad spanked you and called you no good and you're never going to amount to anything. Whatever. That heavy energy will come in contact with the energy field that surrounds our physical body, and it literally cuts it up like a knife. If I were to take a knife and run it across my hand, it would leave a cut. That exact same thing happens to our energy field. It gets cut up, and the problem is it's damaged now. So the bigger problem is once it's damaged is it doesn't magically heal, and it doesn't magically, this heavy energy doesn't magically go away. So then what happens is the cut is your emotional response. So when people will say, you know exactly what buttons to push on me, that's actually what they're talking about. That cut, that, guess who? Our spouses, our best friends. These people know what buttons to push. They know what cuts will activate a negative response in us. And unfortunately, Gigi, we know that about them too.
If we want to play that game.
If you want to play that game, which we see a lot. If you don't start to understand what's happening, you just fall into it.
You get offended and you react.
Absolutely. And then you're off to the races. So as I was sharing my story, the biggest problem was that as that wound from my childhood with my dad, every person that came into my life and was acting like my dad, sometimes it was a boss, sometimes it was somebody I was dating, they would activate that button. They would send their heavy energy towards me, activate my button, activate my cut, my wound, and that heavy energy that caused it in the first place now starts to get a buildup. That thick skin that people talk about, well, that's kind of what you're talking about. Or the hardness of heart. These are all different ways that we describe a buildup. So this will continue to happen throughout your entire life until you stop it. The way that I see a way out of it, there's so many wonderful things out there. This is why I love you have me on your show, because Marshall has one of the best ways to help you get your mind in control of it. Stop spewing it out there. Start to understand what's going on. But I love to combine my work with it, because what happens is otherwise you're kind of white knuckling your way through. Okay, you just said something that really, really hurt my feelings, and I'm not going to strike back at you, but oh, this is all really right there, and I'm not going to say it, I'm not going to say it, I'm not going to say it, I'm not going to say it. And you can just see that sometimes on people.
Oh yeah.
Or Gigi, what I see is even worse on the planet right now, and this is the big thing that I want people to really understand. These things are not normal reactions. These are abnormal reactions. Our soul is not designed to be activated like that. It is not normal to be constantly screaming and yelling at someone. It is not normal to think that you're better than someone. It is not normal to think that you're less than someone. It is not normal to have meanness going towards someone or selfishness. None of these things are normal. Violence is not normal. But
well put. Thank you. Very well put.
It is not. Please, 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 if I get nothing through to people tonight, if they start to understand, it is not normal. If I am constantly yelling at my spouse, please do not look at your spouse and say, yeah, but you did this to me, and therefore I have a right to do this back to you. No. It is violent, it is mean, and it is not who you are. It is a reaction to an event that has wounded you, and it is not who you are.
So it's the ego that you're saying we got to get away from too.
Yes. It's this, I have a right to do this back to you. I've seen where people literally, they'll have heart attacks, they can have strokes, they can have all kinds of diseases, and that is meant to be your wake-up call. Stop doing this. Stress. The reason stress is so debilitating to the body is because when you're always in that stress, the body can't handle it. And this is why I'm saying it's not normal. But we've gotten so desensitized in our world that we start to think that this stuff is the norm, and I just have to adjust to it and just kind of work my way through it. And you don't need to live like that. It is not necessary.
So that buildup that continues on with the stories that we tell ourselves and the accusations and pointing the finger and the projecting and everything else, it's basically like they say, happiness is an inside job, and you help people to get rid of the stories, the buildup, so that they can get back to their natural state of joy, peace, and harmony. That's the blessing that I've experienced with you, and many of my friends have as well.
And that's what's really, that's the way out.
Yes.
So it's not, we're not going to do some crazy screaming and yelling in my backyard. You're going to feel the emotional pain and negativity, and you're breathing until it's gone. It's that simple. A child can do it. It is that simple. And it seems magical because, as you've experienced, as that starts to release, as that heavy buildup starts to clear out, the real you starts to come forward. So then if you don't have a cut, because it erases the cut, the emotional response, I stay with my client, helping them through that emotional negativity or hurt or whatever you want to call that pain. I stay with them until it's totally gone. That's not Pollyanna. That's just clearing out what you're not. All the story that went along with this can be gone. It's just what happened to you. But when you're not reacting, you start to operate from who you really are. So the other thing I really want to stress with people is that because this isn't a religion, it will make you a better Christian. It will make you a better Jain. It will make you a better Hindu. It will make you a better Muslim. It will make you a better Jew. It will make you better at whoever you are. Because that is who you really are. That's really it.
Yes.
All the coding, all the layering. Eckhart Tolle, who wrote the book The Power of Now, and people love him. He's fabulous. I love him too. He calls it a pain body because what he's letting you know is it's not who you are. He even says that. It is something separate from you. So we call it like a layering effect. It's that heavy energy of the whatever that event that hurt you is still hanging out around you in your bright luminous field. And then once you clear that out, it's like scrubbing the floor. If you've not washed your floor and all around you is a buildup of dirt and you go in and you start scrubbing away at it, that bright, beautiful floor is all that's left.
And the prevention of what can occur if we stay stirred up and we don't do this inner work can be deadly, actually.
Deadly. It kills people. We know this. People end up in disease because all these things are the blueprint for the physical body for health or disease. And it's not like the body's looking at this as this is good or bad or, oh, this should or shouldn't be like this. It's simply a program. My computer, when it's got a virus, isn't going, oh, Mary, I'm so sorry. I got a virus today. I didn't mean to do this to you. No, it's a computer program. It's got a virus. My job is to clean it out. So it's the same thing. Scrub your floor. Scrub your energy field. We scrub our hair. We scrub our body. Scrub your emotional body. Scrub out your mental body. And start to operate from who you really are.
And after people experience being with you and going through this breathing and being very in a trusting place, obviously, they actually even come out feeling so much lighter.
Yes.
like it's like a high.
Yes. I've had people who've used drugs and they're like,